What's up, Taiwan? I'm Rik Glauert with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Another kindergarten is being questioned for the possible drugging of students. Tests on a pupil at a school in New Taipei revealed traces of a sedative. One kindergarten was shut earlier this week on suspicion that carers were dosing children with barbiturates. John Van Trieste reports.
At this New Taipei kindergarten, parents are picking up their children early. Some plan to take them to hospitals for a drug test. A kindergarten in the city is under investigation for allegedly drugging pupils, and parents at this school are not taking any chances. At the start of the week, one child here was found to have traces of a sedative in their system, spreading suspicion among parents that teachers here may be drugging children too. The actual concentration, 20 to 30 nanograms per milliliter, is so small that doctors consider the test results to be negative. But even that amount is worrying to some scientists.
它们其实都是列管的3级管制用药。如果我们在没有服用这样子的药物之前呢，其实是不可能在身体里面有这样子的化合物残留的。
But in a Facebook post, the city's mayor has cautioned against speculation and asked residents not to panic. Investigators are looking at whether a cold medicine the child previously took may be responsible for the drug traces. The new Taipei city government says it's in contact with parents at the school and getting surveillance camera footage from inside. But there is concern that these are not isolated cases, and hospitals are now making preparations to accommodate parents who want to make sure their children are safe. John Su and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
For the first time in 6 years, a US nuclear-powered submarine is stationed in South Korea. It comes as the two countries wrap up joint military exercises. Jaime Ocon reports.
South Korean and US forces training together as part of the largest ever live-fire exercises in the two countries' history. Close to 2,500 troops took part in the war games on Thursday, which were held just 50 kilometers from South Korea's capital, Seoul. The drills are meant to celebrate over 70 years of relations between the two countries, and South Korea's president says exercises like these help better train and prepare his country's troops.
우리의 힘으로 국가 안보를 지키는 것이 진정한 평화입니다. 적과 싸워 이길 수 있는, 적이 감히 넘볼 수 있는 강군만이 대한민국의 자유와 평화 그리고 번영을 보장해 줄 수 있는 것입니다.
Less than an hour after the drills concluded, neighboring North Korea fired 2 short-range missiles into the waters around Japan. The authoritarian nation condemned the US and South Korean drills, saying they were, quote, rehearsal for an invasion. The drills come as countries in the region are growing more concerned about North Korea's weapons tests. In May, Pyongyang attempted to launch its first ever military spy satellite, meant to further improve its missile program. That launch failed, but as North Korea continues to develop these kinds of capabilities, nearby countries are calling for greater security cooperation.
厳重に抗議をいたしました。引き続き情報収集、警戒監視に全力を挙げるとともに、日米韓で緊密に連携してまいります。
The U.S. and its allies in the region are stepping up military exchanges, and joint exercises like these are happening almost every month. Analysts say this is part of a push to increase the United States' presence in Asia, not only to manage North Korea's military provocations, but also to counter an increasingly aggressive China.
But if we can work together, it actually helps build better efficiencies into the things that we're doing. And in a way, it helps build the deterrence that we're trying to create, deter North Korea from being such an aggressive bad actor, deter China from continuing to, escalate provocations in the East China Sea and in the South China Sea area as well.
There are more joint exercises scheduled for the second half of this year. As North Korea and China continue to make their military presence felt in the region, the U.S. and its allies are responding with a clear display of unity. James Lin and Jaime Ocon for TaiwanPlus.
The US airman accused of leaking top-secret Pentagon documents has been indicted by a federal grand jury. Prosecutors say 21-year-old Jack Teixeira shared dozens of highly classified intelligence reports online. He's been in custody since his arrest in April and was formally charged on Thursday. The leaks included sensitive information about top US security interests, including China and Russia's war in Ukraine. Teixeira's arrest has also raised questions about how a low-ranking airman could have access to such high-level military secrets. Ukraine says its troops have taken back more than 100 square kilometers of territory from occupying Russian forces. Ukrainian officials say they've recaptured a fourth village in a cluster of settlements along the eastern front line. This comes as the country's counteroffensive against Russia enters its second week. Russia has not acknowledged reports of these advances and says Ukrainian forces have suffered heavy casualties. 9 people have been arrested in Greece after a shipwreck killed at least 78 people. The suspects are accused of people smuggling. A fishing vessel carrying as many as 750 migrants capsized off the coast of Greece on Wednesday. It was travelling from Egypt, believed to be heading to Italy. 104 people have been rescued so far, but hundreds of others, including children, are still missing. Police in New Delhi have charged the chief of an Indian wrestling federation with the sexual harassment of 6 female athletes. It follows months of protest by the country's Olympic and national wrestlers. Louise Watt reports.
For months, India's top female wrestlers have protested on the streets and battled authorities to call for the arrest of the president of the country's wrestling federation, accusing him of sexually harassing several of their colleagues. Now, Indian police have charged Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh with sexual harassment and outraging the modesty of 6 female athletes. But police are seeking to cancel a separate complaint of sexual harassment involving a minor.
फाइनल रिपोर्ट कोर्ट में फाइल करी है क्योंकि मामला पोक्सो 1 से है इस वजह से जज साहब ने पोक्सो के कोर्ट में के लिए 4 तारीख के लिए फिक्स कर
Singh is also a top politician for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Hindu Nationalist Party, and the wrestlers had accused the police and government of ignoring the case. Now it's up to the courts to decide whether to formally charge Singh or discharge him. He denies the allegations.
अगर एक भी आरोप मेरे ऊपर स्थापित हो जाएगा तो ब्रिजभूषण सिंह स्वयं फांसी पर लटक जाएंगे किसी को कहना नहीं.
Singh's been up against some of India's most revered athletes. To protect the accusers, some of the women who have brought India international glory have made themselves the public face of the campaign. Here, Sakshi Malik, the country's first female wrestler to win an Olympic medal, detained by police as she tried to march to India's parliament. The wrestlers' complaints are part of a wider picture of sexual harassment and violence in India, a daily fear for women. The wrestlers hope their campaign will lead to change, because if high-profile women like them can't be heard, what hope is there for ordinary women? Devon Sai and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
To sports now, where action on the field at the Argentina-Australia football match in Beijing is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Soon after the start of the match between the current world champions and the Socceroos, a fan ran onto the pitch. He gave Argentina's star player Lionel Messi a hug before being taken away by security officials. The Argentinian captain was already in the spotlight after he caused a stir with a passport mix-up at Beijing Capital Airport. But when he took to the field in the sold-out stadium, the footballing icon stole the show, scoring the fastest goal of his career in the first 79 seconds. Argentina won 2-0. Taiwan has once again been commended for its efforts against human trafficking. For a 14th year, Taiwan placed in the top tier of a US government trafficking report. The report says Taiwan has made efforts to address the problem of human trafficking. The report ranks more than 180 countries on how they prevent people being bought, sold, and exploited across borders. Human rights activists have condemned the high ranking. saying forced labour and trafficking remain a major problem in Taiwan. But the government says it's trying to improve laws to better protect the rights of the country's migrant workers. In central Taiwan, farmers are concerned that new solar farms are taking over agricultural land. Authorities had hoped a site in Jianghua County could serve as a model for the rest of the country's race to net zero. But as Yu Jinghuang reports, locals have other ideas.
Row upon row of solar panels, right next to a peanut field. As Taiwan works toward its goal of having net zero emissions by 2050, solar collectors are growing more common in open fields, namely farmland. But in areas that heavily rely on agricultural revenue, like the central county of Zhanghua, the plan to turn land over for solar plants worries some farmers. The government hopes to set up the country's first solar energy demonstration site in Dacheng district in Zhanghua County. Some welcome the plan. They say farmers in the area are getting older, and a new source of income would help. But a local environmental protection group says there needs to be more measures to protect farmers, such as setting a limit of the number of panels and making sure remaining farmland is preserved.
政府应该要规范这样的透光率，一定要达到多少才可以，甚至高度要多少你才可以，不能这样子，像我们后面看到这样子盖下去，这个农地就消失了呢。
Responding to these concerns, the Energy Bureau says the plan is still being finalized. They're speaking with potential developers and local authorities. The government says solar panels won't be installed without winning the consent of landowners. How that process unfolds here at Zhanghua's model solar site could show if Taiwan's green transition will thrive or founder. Kamashi and Yu Jinghuang for TaiwanPlus.
Air travel in Taiwan is showing signs of recovery following the COVID pandemic. With more people going overseas, some local airlines have started recruiting more staff. Taiwan's flag carrier China Airlines is hiring more than 100 flight attendants after halting recruitment for 3 years. Taiwan's newest carrier, Starlux Airlines, has recruited 500 cabin crew since the beginning of this year. Cabin crew positions are popular in Taiwan. Salaries range from about $1,900 to $2,600 a month. That puts the jobs among Taiwan's top 10 best paying. There's no sweeter way to spend the day than at the Tainan International Mango Festival. Exhibitors are showcasing all the creative ways this tropical fruit can be enjoyed after recent harvests recovered from a long drought. Sally Jensen reports.
Taiwan is known for its quirky food innovations, and nowhere is this more apparent than at the Tainan International Mango Festival, now underway in the country's southern city. Mango jellies, mango cakes, and mango marmalade, even matcha green tea with mango. Taiwan's mango enthusiasts want to show you a side of the tropical fruit you've never seen before.
今年的芒果品质又好，价格也算合理。芒果不但是可以鲜食，芒果更可以做一些加工的产品，甚至于芒果有很多新的吃法。
Climate change has taken its toll on the country's mangoes. A year-long drought had many farmers worried about this year's yields. But recent rains have seen mangoes bounce back.
我们有许许多多优质的芒果要跟大家来见面。去年因为天候的关系，芒果大减产，但是今年你就可以大快朵颐了。
The city of Tainan will hold several mango-related events throughout the month of July. And with more rains on the way, for the juicy snack, it promises to be a fruitful season. Alex Chen and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally today, we leave you with images from the Sea of Mirrors digital exhibition in Rio, Brazil. I'm Rik Glauert, take care and we'll see you next time.